While Pop Century is an affordable fan favorite, its neighbor Caribbean Beach offers a massive tropical escape with some handy amenities. And people at Pop Century often wonder if they should have upgraded to Caribbean Beach in the first place. But one is plagued with long lines, and one was built without elevators. Let's settle the ultimate Pop versus Caribbean Beach debate. Both Pop Century and Caribbean Beach are motel-style resorts, which means exterior corridors lead directly to your room. You're outside, exposed to the Florida sun or rain, rather than walking through a central air-conditioned hallway. Both resorts offer upgraded room categories that place you closer to dining, the main pool, and transportation. That's important because if you book the most economical rooms, you could be in for some long walks before and after your park days. But this is where the similarities end. Pop Century has over 2,800 rooms stacked into 4 category buildings with elevators. It's compact, efficient, and high energy. Bright colors, oversized icons, and nostalgic touches give it a playful but almost kitschy vibe. Disney's luggage delivery system may operate on a schedule during busy times, so you drop off your bags at check-in and they'll be delivered to your room later on. Caribbean Beach, in contrast, has about 1,500 rooms spread across multiple 2-story island neighborhoods with no elevators. So, if you have strollers or difficulty with stairs, this is a problem. Sure, you can request a ground floor room, but it isn't guaranteed. The layout is expansive, the landscaping is tropical, and the buildings are well themed. Walking through the resort feels like a true escape. The theming is immersive, more polished. Bell services is available, so staff will take your luggage and even drive you to your building. It's an example of how the resort's design prioritizes comfort and experience over compact efficiency. Reviews reflect these differences. Pop Century guests love the energy and convenience, though some note it can feel crowded. Caribbean Beach guests praise the tranquil atmosphere and resort feel, but warn about long walks and the need to navigate multiple bus stops. Rooms also highlight the contrast between these resorts. Pop Century rooms are about 260 square feet. Caribbean Beach, slightly larger at 315 square feet. But size isn't everything. Layout matters. At Pop Century, you get a standard queen bed and a second fold-down bed tucked into the wall. During the day, that bed folds up, opening the room and making it feel much larger than it actually is. At night, the fold-down bed is already made. You just pull it down. Every Pop Century room sleeps up to 4 guests, and the fold-down bed is widely praised for maximizing usable space without feeling cramped. Caribbean Beach takes a more traditional approach with 2 queen beds. Some rooms include a small fold-down child-sized bed suitable for kids up to about 9 years old, allowing the room to sleep 5. But adults won't fit comfortably in this 5th sleeper. You need to specifically book a 5th sleeper room to get this feature as well. At both resorts, air conditioning comes from through-the-wall units rather than central air. They get the job done, but they can hum or kick on during the night, something I see mentioned in a lot of online reviews. And speaking of reviews, Pop Century visitors rave about the clever design and flexible use of space, while Caribbean Beach guests appreciate the extra square footage and family sleeping options, but sometimes mention the room can feel crowded during the day. Transportation is another big factor. Both resorts have access to the Disney Skyliner, which connects you to Epcot and Hollywood Studios, a huge advantage. But the experience differs. At Pop Century, you share a Skyliner station with Art of Animation. It works fine, but during the busy mornings, the lines can be long, and you may have to wait for a full gondola before boarding. At Caribbean Beach, the Skyliner hub is right at the resort. See, all lines converge here, which means fewer transfers, more flexibility, and often a faster start to your day. There's still a line, especially during peak times, but you don't need to exit and transfer, which saves time and frustration. Both resorts are large, and walking can be a consideration. if you book the most economical room categories, you might be far from dining, transportation, or the main pool. Pop Century has one centralized bus stop. Caribbean Beach has multiple bus stops spread across the property, which shortens some walks, but once the bus is moving, it stops at every village, slowing your trip to the parks. Preferred rooms reduce walking at both resorts, but at Caribbean Beach, you have to decide: closer to the Skyliner hub or closer to dining and the main pool, because the hub is nowhere near the main building and you can't have both. I actually have videos that will help you see where the best rooms are located, and I'll link to them in the show notes. Dining is straightforward at Pop Century. A large food court and pool bar cover your needs. Caribbean Beach matches that, but adds Sebastian's Bistro, a table service restaurant consistently praised by guests and popular with the locals. It's a nice option if you want to sit and relax with a sit-down meal without leaving the resort. When it comes to pools, Caribbean Beach clearly wins. The main pool is beautifully themed, immersive, and surrounded by quiet areas and a pool bar. It also has a water slide, something you won't find at Pop Century. But here's the reality: how much will you actually use it? If you're rope dropping the parks and staying out late, it may not matter. If your plan includes pool days or resort downtime, Caribbean Beach's pool suddenly becomes a major selling point. Both resorts have one feature pool and several smaller neighborhood pools that are positioned closer to the rooms and tend to be more quiet and relaxed than the main pool. Price is where the decision often comes down to Pop Century or Caribbean Beach. Summer standard rooms at Pop Century range from about $250 to $300 per night, with holidays climbing into the low-mid 300s. Caribbean Beach standard rooms start higher, $290 to $350 in the summer, $400 to $450 during the holidays. Preferred rooms add $30 to $80 per night depending on the location. Over 5 or 6 nights, that difference can easily reach $500 or more. So, what are you actually paying for? At Caribbean Beach, you get the Skyliner hub, table service dining, slightly larger rooms, and more immersive, relaxed environment. At Pop Century, you're paying less but still getting Skyliner access, a flexible room layout with a fun, high-energy atmosphere. Online reviews show this clearly. Many families love the upgrade if they plan to enjoy the resort itself, while others stick with Pop Century to save money when park time is the focus. But something to keep in mind: while Pop Century is impeccably maintained, it feels dated. Compare it to Universal's new value hotels like Stella Nova or Terra Luna resorts, which are modern, have interior corridors, and feel much more sophisticated and resorty. And Caribbean Beach is pricey for an Orlando hotel. There are many nearby options in the same price point that offer 5-star luxury accommodations for about the same price as Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. I have a whole video on this, including one that has the best pool in Orlando. That video is coming up right now, and I'll see you over there.